We begin with breaking news this hour. 10 South Africans from war-torn Sudan have just landed at OR Tambo International Airport. Family and friends have been eagerly waiting for their arrival after clashes broke out in Sudan between the army and a paramilitary group. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtile is at the airport and joins us now for the very latest. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, Aviwe Mtile. And of course, a lot of excitement, but also relief that people's family members, friends, colleagues and the like were able to be rescued from the war-torn country, Sudan. Have you been able to speak with anyone? What is happening at the airport at the moment?
Colleague, more than anything at this moment, it's nerves. It's just wanting to see your family member or your boyfriend or your spouse at this stage, as you already know that they've already disembarked from that flight coming from Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Of course, it went through that from Port Sudan, as the last 2 weeks has been literally grueling from these families. They've had disrupted, communication with their family members, and you can see actually this is the Hainsworth family, as they're looking in anticipation, waiting for their son Jonathan to come out those doors any minute now. In fact, I'm going to try speak to Mrs. Hainsworth. Ma'am, I know you're still a bit anxious at this moment. Tell us what's going through your mind as you wait for Jonathan to come through those doors now.
I just want to see him walk through those doors, that's all. We're just so overjoyed that he's coming home and that he's here in one piece, and we're just so thankful for the whole process and everybody that was involved, the gift of the givers, and yeah, we are just very grateful.
I'm sure,
very excited to see him.
I'm sure the last 2 or so weeks have been grueling for the family.
Yes, it's the last 2 weeks have been harrowing, but the last 4 days have been hectic, because we almost had no communication with him, so that was very nerve-wracking. The company that he works for had a satellite phone, so they would send us intermittent messages, to say that they are okay, don't worry about them. So
I was about to ask about the communication and how Jonathan has been describing the situation in Sudan. What's he been telling you?
Well, he wasn't in Khartoum, he was based in Port Sudan, but he said the last 3 days, Port Sudan, because of all the people flocking there to try and leave the country, because all the exits have just been so difficult, and he said it was just people after people, and they were starting to run out of water and food, so that was very, very alarming to us as well, yes.
Okay, let me let you be. I want to catch up now with David. That's the father of Jonathan. David, I see you a bit anxious at this moment. Maybe tell us what you're going through this moment as you wait for Jonathan to come through.
I'm very excited and very relieved that he's coming home today. It's been a worrying few days, the last 4 days especially, not knowing whether they are going to get out the country or how they're going to get out the country. We were only sure about 36 hours ago that they were getting on a Saudi Navy ship, and they were transported to Saudi Arabia and then on to Dubai, and they're going to get here now. Very relieved, because it was getting more and more difficult for him to do his work there. The internet was sporadic, there was no power in the town. It was time to leave.
And has he been telling you about the living conditions that he was facing for the last 2 weeks now?
We had sporadic contact with him through the internet, and the company that he works for supplied them with a satellite phone, and his employers would phone them regularly to get updates on how the situation was, when the time was right for them to leave.
Okay. Let me let you wait there.
Thank you.
I'm going to try and get as many people as possible, colleagues. Of course, we wait here at Terminal A for the arrivals. I see Laura, very anxious Laura there. Laura is the girlfriend to Jonathan. Laura, take us through maybe what you're going through this very moment, waiting for Jonathan.
Yeah, so the anticipation is building. I'm getting more and more nervous but excited, as the time goes past. I just received a message from him that he has touched down. Not sure if he's gotten his luggage yet, but the seconds are feeling very long at the moment.
I can only imagine. When you see him there, what do you think is the first thing that he'd want to do? Or at this time?
Yeah, so after greeting us, knowing him, I think the first thing is going to be some sort of dinner, some sort of really nice food, and I think he deserves it at this point, and then a bed.
All right. Let me not keep you any longer, of course, as you wait for Jonathan Hainsworth, a geologist, we do understand, that works in Sudan. And of course, a lot of other families, we know 10 that are coming through this flight that went through Dubai, but all 76 South Africans that were in Sudan have been safely evacuated at this stage.
Thank you very much, Aviwe Mtile, for that update. And it's great that you were able to engage some of those families. You can see the excitement on their face to know that their son, partner, has landed rather safely and would be meeting his family in a short while. We'll continue to catch up with you, Aviwe Mtile, as families greet those who've been evacuated from war-torn Sudan.